starting with our big story now. Another hospital visit by Chinese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has sparked concerns about the leader's health and his ability to continue as the Prime Minister amid the coronavirus pandemic. This was 65-year-old Abe's second hospital visit in a week's time. Upon his return, Abe said that he was doing everything to maintain his health and do his utmost at his job. Not much is known about the diagnosis, but reports said that the leader underwent an examination that lasted for 7.5 hours.
まず本日は先日の検査を受けて追加検査というふうに伺っています。いずれにせよ先日も総理自らこれから仕事に復帰して頑張っていきたいとおっしゃっております。
Abe, who is already Japan's longest-serving prime minister, resigned from his first stint in office in 2007 because of struggles with a bowel illness. His condition later improved due to advancement in medical science and availability of new drugs. However, many are now concerned that the long working hours due to the coronavirus crisis has been taking a toll on Abe's health. A report even claimed that Abe had vomited blood in his office last month. Government officials had rejected the reports as incorrect. Abe's approval rating has dropped amid COVID-19 as many Japanese feel that the government mishandled this crisis. And now to give us more details on this story, we are being joined by Grace Lee to give us a ground report from Tokyo. Now, Grace, thank you so much for joining us. My first question to you is, I would like to begin by asking if there is any clarity on the diagnosis or what triggered the need for this additional testing.
So far, Abe has been very secretive about his health. He said at a presser after his hospital visit that he would reveal the details of his diagnosis later in the week. So we are waiting to hear from him and from his party about what exactly happened there. He's also going to give us more details about his coronavirus response. And keep in mind that Abe has been largely absent in the past few months as the country battles the pandemic. And a lot of opposition leaders have been questioning, is this because of his failing health? Now, a lot of opposition leaders are also saying that if he is indeed that ill, then he needs to step down immediately so that there is no political vacuum in the middle of the pandemic. He's only been attending a handful of press conferences, and frankly, a lot of leaders in Japan, a lot of local leaders have stopped looking to him for help or for any kind of direction, and that's not a good look for the Prime Minister at this time.
Yes, I was going to come to that actually. This is not the first time. In the past as well, he was forced to resign in 2007 due to a bowel illness. Now, could this be linked to that? What are the people speculating?
Yeah, a lot of mumblings in Japanese media and foreign media alike asking that very question, saying, well, if Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is going to step down, is it going to happen this week? Is it going to happen as abruptly as it did in 2007? Well, all ears are up right now. A lot of people are wondering that if that happens, Abe doesn't exactly have somebody else to put in place after him. That responsibility would go to the finance minister, and then there would indeed be a political vacuum and a scramble to get that top seat. So that would cause a lot of chaos in the middle of this pandemic, and that's causing a lot of concern here.
And also, this seems to be quite a mystery for everyone as of now. So what is the need for such secrecy? Why do you think the diagnosis is not being disclosed?
It's not clear, but a lot of people are speculating that if the Prime Minister is not giving details immediately about his health, then perhaps it is as serious as one could imagine. Because yesterday, when he did his last and final hospital visit, he had said that he was going in just to get his results, but he was at the hospital for quite a long time, and it's only fueling more speculation around his health, and people are very nervous about this because, as you mentioned, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has resigned before because of his ulcerative colitis. That is a bowel issue, and he's had this disease since middle school. It seems that perhaps the stress from COVID-19 has made it only worse. A lot of people are kind of concerned about his health, but at the same time concerned about the country's direction as we see COVID-19 cases continue to rise.
No, actually, I think it's important to go back to a point that you made earlier, and I would also like to mention that Prime Minister Abe is already the country's longest-serving Prime Minister, and on Monday he even broke a record of half-century-old record. But at the same time, he is also facing a lot of criticism for his handling of the country's coronavirus outbreak, and has seen support among voters drop as well. Now, adding to the speculation that he could resign, how do you assess that?
Yeah, his popularity has definitely been taking a hit amid the pandemic, but overall he's been tied up in a lot of scandals in the past few years, and that's not been doing him any favors either. And other critics have been quick to point out that a lot of his key goals as prime minister, even though he's the longest serving prime minister now, he hasn't been able to achieve them. He hasn't been able to revise Japan's pacifist constitution. He hasn't been able to get the abductees to North Korea back. He hasn't been able to resolve the disputes of territorial issues with Russia. A lot of these things that have been hovering over Abe's head, it seems that if he does resign, he won't be able to ultimately achieve any of these goals before stepping down as prime minister, and that's definitely going to be a dark cloud over his head and over the party as they kind of try to struggle to maintain power here in Japan.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Grace, for joining us. We will definitely be tracking this as and when we get more details. We will update our viewers. Thank you for joining us.